is it? 1:18 in the afternoon right now. It is probably the nicest day I'm going to have for my 2 weeks off here. Today the 29th of December 2019. Got an awesome blue sky. It's warm. Got a pile of cat crap in my garage. It says that it's 13 degrees Celsius in the garage, inside of 14 now. I had the door open. Inside the house, it was 52. I could possibly believe it. So, got the old truck backed up in here into the front yard so that I can work under the hood without slipping and sliding in the grass. Let me show you something here. Look, Mom, there's my new bird bath. I won't knock it over. Broke my plastic one, so got a new one for Christmas. Alright, key in the ignition, but we're not going to start the truck. Let the buzzer die. Fan control. It is blowing. Low, medium, high. That's on defrost, and there's barely any air coming out of that at all. Now, I'm missing my vent over here. I've got one. I just need to put it in. I'll show you what I'm looking at here. I got a goofy little rotating tripod here. Sorry about the dust on the lens. Heater. So I think these are actually AC vents. Because the heater should be down on the floor. Yeah, I can feel the air down there. So this thing doesn't move a lot of air. Yeah, those are just AC vents. So I have in that box, shut this off, pull the key back out. Walk back around. This is a new fan, new blower motor and squirrel cage. You know what, we're going to move this back to the tailgate. If I can drop it still. I think I can. Nope, I got stuff in the way. But I can't. Yeah, Misty out to help. Alrighty. Come on, opening one-handed here. So this is a new fan. Oh, come on. You know what? We need to do this. We need to do this. Hang tight there. So I believe this is off of Amazon. Shosen. There's a part number. There's the labels. No, that might be the part number there. (610-ST-ZD172114). I'll have to double check that. So I was watching Mr. Heavy Chevy's channel, and he did a swap on his 83, 84, 86, whatever it is, 1-ton square body. And this fan is actually for the next generation Chevy trucks. So kind of like my 94 I used to have. So for the 88 to 98, I think it is, GMT 600 series. Now it's supposed to be a direct bolt-in. we did a side-by-side comparison. It has the same plug, it has the same bolt pattern, it's just these either spin faster or just have more power. So we're going to do a swap and then turn the fan on and see if we notice a difference. So now it could be that the original fan on this is just old, but I don't know, from what I've read, these actually blow more air. Because the fan in that truck, the heater in that truck, it's not so good. I drive it a little bit more in the winter. I was actually going to drive it to work a couple weeks ago, but I thought, no, can't keep air moving in there, and your feet get cold, or it doesn't keep the window clean. Come on. Gotta move the box for the bird bath here out of the way. Get that cut up and throw it in the recycle bin tonight. And we got another box here too that needs to be cut up and thrown away. So we're going to pull that old fan out. I'm going to get you all set up under the hood there. Turn on the LED workbench light there. Got to find, there it is. Use my little Milwaukee. And shouldn't take us too long, so if I don't yak on too much. So hold on a sec, let's get you repositioned and start tearing down. Alrighty, got you over here on the passenger side firewall. Here's the motor. The shape looks pretty much the same. There's the electrical plug. Pull that and stuff it over to the side there. One, two, three, four, five. Is it 5 30-seconds? 9 30-second sheet metal screws. Somebody had recommended getting one of these little wrenches in another video I was watching. Not too expensive, so I picked one up. Just drop that screw right down there. I've been happy with it. We gotta pull the jack equipment out. When I got this truck from my grandfather, he said he had never used it. I don't think I've ever had it out, so this may be the first time it's been removed. Judging by the dirt and corrosion on this lug, I wouldn't be too surprised. She's not factory original anymore. Put this back on so we don't lose it. And one screw down below. We get there with this. It's angled too much. Let's try a shorter socket. Can't read them with the sun shining. Too much glare. Can't see. Alrighty, there is the old motor. Let's go grab the new one and do a side-by-side. New one. Oh, the cage is bigger. So do we have to swap that over? Yes, we do. She bottoms out. That might be a problem. This one looks like it's pressed on, and this one is threaded on. That might be a bit of a problem. So they're not a direct bolt-on. I swear the one that he showed, though, it was a direct swap over. You can see, though, there's no nut in the middle there. It just presses. Or maybe it's threaded on in there. It might be. This one's got a nut in the middle, which will stop the motor from turning. There's all your armatures and everything. Pull the rubber plug off. I don't want to shove something in there to stop it. Same thing on this side. Just how do you get this squirrel cage, little one, on the big motor then? So I'm looking, these are actually different. Yeah, these are not correct. The plug goes on the other side there. I guess the holes line up. No bueno. Grab the one out of the Jimmy and see what it looks like. So I bought two of these things. I'll be back in a sec. Okay, I went back and I watched Mr. Heavy Chevy's video, and his truck has factory air conditioning. Mine does not. Mine was actually a dealer installed option. So the heater box, the fan housing, is deeper. And I can show you this because I have one of each. So this is a non-AC style box. Now this truck had aftermarket AC on it. I don't remember how they routed all the lines and everything. I really don't remember how they routed all the AC lines, but I took the AC compressor off not long after I bought the truck because it didn't work. I have not pulled this box off, but if you look, it's nice and flat. If we go over here to the Jimmy, Jimmy is an AC truck from the factory. And you can see the difference with the condenser and that's where everything sits for the AC unit. And the box here is much deeper. So, and the motor is different. So actually, I don't know what this hose is on the side here though. Oh, that'll fit into one of the grommets. So actually both those motors will fit in this truck because of the deeper box, but it will not work on the non-AC truck, which is a bummer. So I'm going to do a little bit of research and figure out what we can do. But it's a bolt-in replacement for the factory AC style. I have a frog in my front yard. So, KO383, I don't know if that's a date code or what. I have a big frog in my yard. Somewhere over here. I'm looking for him. He hears me. Anyway, just a frog video. Used to get a lot of frogs here. I haven't got them for a while. So yeah, I'm going to go do a little bit of research and see what I can dig up for upgrading these smaller fans. And then, you know what I'm going to say? Now let me do a little bit of research. Let me do a little bit of research. I'm going to try pulling this cage off. I guess I could sacrifice that one. I've already paid for it. They're not that expensive. It's still 25, 30 bucks, but I'm sure it's way past my return. I hate to just destroy a new fan though, but I'm trying to figure out how this one would come off. Is it threaded on? Is it pressed on? Let me play around and see what I can come up with here. Alrighty, this is turning into a bigger project than I anticipated, but hey, what else we got to do today? So I sacrificed the new motor. I cut the squirrel cage off. Literally cut it into pieces. So if this doesn't work, y'all owe me 30 bucks. Big difference is this is the old one. You can see it's the squared off shaft. This is a pressed on shaft. Now let's get a good one here. This one's going in the Jimmy because it will be a direct bolt in. So like I showed earlier, there's a little height difference on the cages, about 3/4 of an inch or so. So one thing I also noticed is if you look at the mounting plate and how far the motor sticks out as opposed to this one, so it's going to push things back a little bit. But I think by modifying this shaft, we're going to do some redneck machine work here. I think by modifying that shaft that we should be able to take up all the distance and get this to fit. I did a test fit of just setting this on top and putting it in, and the mounting point is 3/4 of an inch away, and we can drop that about 3/4 of an inch. So as long as it doesn't hit the inside of the firewall, I think we're going to be all right. So my plan is I'm going to, wish I had some good working calipers. No, I might have to go look into that. I'm going to grind down this very top portion. And we're going to cut some threads on it. I got to find if I got a die to cut those size threads. But that will give us the threads, and then I have to see about filing or grinding some flat spots, because I think, and just by the old manual, calibration unit here, that's about the same diameter. So we're going to mess around with it. If I screw this motor up, I've still got a good working motor there. And then, yeah, I've got my good Mark 1 grinder here. It's got a brand new wheel on it, so it's nice and straight edged. And it works. And, yeah. Let's see. Well, that's a bright spot reflecting off the box there. Let's see what kind of trouble we can get into. Got the good old country music on the radio. Let's redneck, shall we? Alrighty, we've taped up all the openings on the motor. The end there of the shaft is what I'm going to be grinding down. I've got to go just a little bit below 1/4 inch. So not quite 3/16, not quite 1/4. We'll just take our time. We'll go very slow. We're going to use the big grinding wheel and yeah, see what kind of damage we can cause. I taped it up to keep the metal shavings from inside the motor. There's lots of openings there. Went around the shaft as best I could to minimize even that. And yeah, wish me luck. Here we go. Always remember your safety glasses when you're doing stuff like this. I said earlier, I've got a nice sharp edge on this wheel. It's a brand new grinding wheel, so we should be okay. Ways to go yet. Okay, well, the very tip is at the right size, but it flares out as we get towards the bottom, which is to be expected. I've actually taken a bit of the edge off. Actually, I probably could come in at this stupid angle. Squeeze away at the material. It's actually almost spot on. So, now, I have to touch that up with a file. Zoom you all back out here. That's what we did. The tape moved a little bit, but that's alright. We'll just kind of clean that up. Hopefully it'll stay centered and it won't cause the fan to wiggle too much. Files. Let's get a... Even in the field of view, looks like it. That looks awfully crooked though. We'll see how that works out. And that measurement I took off the original piece is pretty loose, so that should allow me enough room for cutting threads and accommodating for the crudeness of this work, since I do not have a lathe. But I am going to go see what I can find now for my tap and die sets right here. Alrighty, I'm going to pause y'all and figure out what I can come up with here for some thread cutting. Okay, I got some threads cut. They're the same length. This is not straight, which means that the squirrel cage is going to wobble around a little bit. But there is the original nut, and it does thread on. So, depth is correct. It's just a little off to one side. Hopefully it won't rattle around and kill the bearings on this motor, but I'm not going to throw the old motor away. I'll tag it and catalog it somewhere in this garage. And yeah, it's off a little bit. Bummer. But next I need to cut the flats. I might just file those. I don't know. Actually, I'll use the grinder on one side and then I'll file the other side, but I'm not going to show that because you've already seen enough grinding. So back when we get some more work done here. Well, I shaved the sides down and then I put the plastic cage on to test it, and I couldn't get it back off, and I didn't want to push my luck, so threw the nut back on the end. I can't find my Loctite. I've got a couple of bottles around, but they're buried somewhere in this mess of a garage, probably in one of these boxes on the side I haven't cleaned out yet. So there it is. It wobbles a little bit. I did test fit it into the truck. It seems to be hitting a little bit, so I might, and it's not much, so I might try shaving this down a little bit. Or maybe we'll take something and we'll hammer the firewall back a little. I don't know. But I want to at least try to put this in, see if I can get it to try to spin. Maybe it makes some god-awful noises or something. Yeah, we'll move out there and try the reinstall. Alrighty, well, I turned the radio down. It's in. My neighbor across the street was firing up his Harley, making a bunch of noise, and I didn't want to sit here and wait. I'm losing daylight, so I went ahead and put it back in. It only works on high, but it does work. Sounds like it's blowing more. I put bigger screws in all the way around there. Factory screws. I'm kind of stripping out the sheet metal. This is just a sheet metal box, pretty thin. So, yeah, weren't really creating a good ground. But yeah, now, a couple of theories on why it only works on high. I mean, it's moving the flag. I don't think it was moving before on high. Maybe a little bit more air blowing out. Actually, yeah, there's a lot more blowing out down through the footwell. So there's a little more air blowing. But a couple of theories I have. One is I know I've got some loose connectors behind the dash. And this fan, even the original fan on occasion, would only work on high. So I need to get in there and double check those again. Other theory is a fan that blows more air is probably pulling more energy, pulling more electricity. So, put the screen around here. So I'm a little concerned that there's a bigger amperage draw, and maybe that switch just can't handle it on the lower speeds, in theory. Although at high speed it would be drawing the full amps, so should be working on the lower speeds and not the high speed. But for now, I have fan blowing, which is good. I've got to put the window back up in the Jimmy too. Let's go do that. So yeah, hopefully that will help keep the heat burning in the truck. Oh, I don't know if I can do this with one hand. I gotta manipulate my window here. I can set you up and you can watch me kind of sort of. Something else to fix on this truck. Should fire it up and let it run for a little bit. It's got a catch there. You can see the window torquing. A little pressure right in the center here to help it up. past that, and it goes fine. Just right in that one spot. This one seals a lot better than the old blue truck did. But yeah, we've got a fan. Seems to blow a little bit more air. It's not hitting inside anywhere. I'm going to hang on to this one just in case. But so it is possible to take a newer style. I can't remember the part number. I'll throw them in the description below. I went back through what's his name's video there, and that's the new one. The shape is a little bit different, but it fills the gap on this truck, which this is a non-factory AC truck. This was a dealer-installed AC at one point. All that stuff got ripped out because, like I said, it didn't work when I got the truck, and I wasn't worried about fixing it. This truck's got 55x2 AC, 55 mile an hour, roll both your windows down. And when it's really bad, you crack the back slider. So, we're good. Really, fan on high. I mean, you can regulate the temperature. But, yeah. I'm going to throw all the jack stuff back in. Fire this beast up. I have to take Dad's birthday card down and get it in the mail because I saw him yesterday and forgot to take the card with. There's my pliers drawer. It's right there for now. So we're gonna run this thing down into town, and maybe we'll do a driving video again. People seem to like that. Kitty cameo again. So yeah, just to recap, battery's about to die, so see if we can do this quick. Ground down that little shaft, cut some threads in it, cut 2 flat chamfers, kind of lightly hammered on that squirrel cage. Seems to work. It's a nice tight fit, not rattling. I have to keep my eyes out for my thread lock, and yeah, blows air. So that's all that really matters right now. So thanks for tuning in, thanks for following along. Not a very exciting video, but I'm going to do a little cleanup, jump in the T-Ruck, drive down into town. I'll grab the guys and take you with, and we'll do a separate video. So catch y'all in the next one. Y'all be good.